Hi, I'm here with a video to help anybody that is currently not dating to stay more juicy in their sexuality. It is possible, even though you don't have, any physical encounters or a partner. It is. And it was inspired by several members in my community who have shared one way or another. They're single currently, and they might remain so for a long time because some people really aren't okay with dating nowadays with the current situation. So that being said, I want to help here as much as possible. So I have 3 things to share. Number 1 is mental health. Number 2, physical workout. Number 3, sexual workout. And they are all related. And yes, I'm going to approach them in this order because in fact they come first, Sexuality is more, how do I say this? It's more sensitive to the rest of the things that you do in your life. So let's get started. Mental health. First and foremost, you are never going to pick a partner that is not mentally healthy. Am I right? Good. I didn't doubt this for a second. Well, let me ask you this. Would you be willing to be mentally unhealthy and expect somebody to pick you as a partner? Boy, that must have pissed you off, but that's true. You wouldn't choose a mentally unhealthy partner, nor than you would want, to be mentally unhealthy. So, mental health, super important nowadays. That's Ivan coming to say hello. So, the first things that I would suggest here are contemplation, meditation, walking out. Like I have somebody here that walks me out twice a day, and it's not always comfortable. Let me reassure you, when it's 5 a.m. and it's super cold and snowy outside, you do not want to walk your dog then, but you have to. However, overall, it keeps me going out in, the closest thing that I have to nature, and it keeps me doing so on a daily basis. Now, you don't need a dog for that, obviously. You can go out on your own if you are aware that mental health makes you a more desirable partner, and it also makes you happier in your relationship. And when I say mental health, I don't mean that you're not imbecile, crazy, insane, wacko, ADD, HDHD, whatever, PTSD and so on. So all the, I'm talking about people that are relaxed, in a good disposition, who are in a positive mind frame most of the time, because sometimes we go through shit and saying that they don't exist isn't the solution. But, mental health is defined from my perspective as somebody that can find a way to not only manage stress, but somehow prevent it. And that's through an entire lifestyle. The only resources that I think that are super accessible to everyone, aside from going out in nature and meditating, breath work, staying, even if it's just by your window, but you need to feel the breeze, feel the fresh air on your skin, especially when it's more cooler outside. Sun is also important. These are accessible to everyone. And yes, you say that, you might say that they don't matter, but you wait until you get deep into a relationship and you start to feel how your other daily stuff comes up in terms of a negative state in bed, or lack of libido or low libido, lack of desire, lack of mood, and so on. So mental health and being proactive about it. Even if it's just talking to a friend, but somebody that lifts you up. It's not somebody that you just pour your troubles to and then you suddenly find yourself more exhausted than you were in the beginning. That's not healthy. And also people that inspire you. We pick up other people's states. So if you have somebody who is more, not just in tune with you, but also more lighthearted and higher in energy, you don't have to go to them with your trouble. You just go to them and you stay there and you absorb some of that, because we do that. Yeah, that's what inspiring inspiration comes from when you're just around people. So second thing, workout. First of all, you don't just look better when you work out, but you are more youthful looking. You are more flexible, mobile, and I don't need to say why those things matter in sex. Like I don't even want to push this one because I know you can put two and two together. The only thing that I know is that when you don't work out your muscles, when you don't stretch your joints properly, okay, not by yourself, just take a class, because there are many things online, and take some time every now and then to stretch, to work out, to mobilize your tissues. Otherwise, your body gets stiff. This is what muscles do. This is what joints do. And the quality of your physical encounters is gonna go low because your body is not in the best shape and it's not so easy to move. So yeah, people that are more slender because of a combination with all the physical, biological health, eating, and also working out, so these are the three components, they do enjoy sex more. Not only are they more attractive, but they do enjoy it more. They can sustain it better through their body. If you have any physical or medical challenges, then, like, I'm not a doctor here. I can only say that I hope that you take proper care of your body and do the best you can, even with those conditions, to move in a way or another. There's no excuse for not moving, unless you're in a really, really critical stage. But otherwise, moving helps. Even if it's just moving your head, even if it's just moving your arms, whatever you can move in your body, move. Bodies are built to move. And number 3, sexual practice. Yeah. This is more the case, or strike that. I am here to say more for women than for guys. For the simple fact that, one, I'm not a woman. What am I saying here? I am a woman, I'm not a man. That's what I wanted to say. So I haven't lived in a man's body, and I don't know what sexuality feels like from a male body. I have no clue. But I do know that practices may differ sometimes. And I also know that the mentalities are a little different, at least in the country where I physically am. What I mean by this is that sexual practice is usually done as a solo practice. That's how it's built. And many people, especially guys where I live, have a negative association with solo practice. I'm talking about, masses. I know that I've been following some Romanian guys that are promoting dating to other guys. And usually the guy that does self-practice is the lame one, or it's promoted as the lame one, because he can't find, a woman to have sex with. And that may work for them, but for somebody that was in a conscious sexuality community, I look at sex practice and solo practice as a resource. You're actually working on your sexual capacities. And you're also keeping yourself in flow, especially when you are single. There's no shame around that. You're not validated by having a partner. But this is a different mentality. I know that I am incompatible with, perspectives like the ones that I've just told you. I don't know about men from other countries. I do know that my colleagues, guy colleagues in my trainings, in the classes that I was in, they took sexuality solo practices for themselves to grow on sexual continence, to understand what triggers their erotic senses in more ways than just their penis. And other, working on techniques for themselves, seeing what works, what doesn't work for them, so that they can explain to their partner. They had curiosities to explore with various accessories. So, but those are, I never had a Romanian male colleague in any of the trainings that I went to. So I do know that some of the guys, foreign guys that went to those communities think differently and they understand solo practice. But I'm not in a man's body and I can't really facilitate that for guys. I can only root for you guys to look for somebody that does that, you know, other men, and stay with them, work with them, as in practice with them. For women, boy, first of all, I am in a woman's body and I do know that being penetrated is not exactly the easiest thing. It's not just a physical, it's also an internal disposition thing. Sometimes you just don't have it in you to be entered. Because if it's not done really well, and if you don't take the time to explain, and if the other person doesn't take it personally, but actually takes it as, wow, useful information, it can be consuming. Like being penetrated in the improper way isn't exactly pinky. And it's not great. It can consume energy. And I'm not the only one to say this. This is why a lot of women sometimes have a hard time and they don't want sex with their partners because in fact something isn't done well for them there. They also don't want to share it. And with proper reasons sometimes, because a lot of guys take that as a personal insult. They don't take it as guidance or useful information. They take it as a reproach and they take it personal. Yeah. But for keeping ourselves as women into flow and into the habit of being penetrated, even if we're single and not dating for years, I've built up the sexual practice in the sex dojo. And it's a combination of you working with different accessories, staying present with the body, working out the physical muscle, because our vagina is a muscle. The anus is also a muscle. It is. The entire pelvic floor is a muscle and it needs to be worked out properly. And it does help you as a woman to stay in sexual flow so that when somebody right comes along, you don't have to start that engine that hasn't been started. It's like a car, you know, although it's a really awful association. But if you haven't used your car in months or years, it's gonna take a while until it will run well. And yeah, not so many people, as in guys, might be impressed with that. So it makes sense that you do your practice, even if you're not having orgasm during practice. You're keeping yourself in sexual flow and you're understanding, okay, how much time does it take for me to recover or get back into it after my menstruation? Am I okay with having sex during menstruation or any kind of penetration? Am I not? If I go through lousy emotional states, okay, am I okay with being touched or not, penetrated or not? Once I get out of those, how long does it take for me to get back into it and be penetrated once again? These are important cues that no guy, like, they're not even gonna think in their heads about this unless a woman tells them this is my physical experience and this is what is going on with me erotically. Then they're not going to know. They won't be able to help you. You're the one in those states that needs to give some information, guidance, hints, you know, this is what's going on with me, this is what I need. That's why sexual practice is important. So ladies, I have the sex dojo, and this time until October 11th, when I'll be turning 38, I put a discount. I put it in the stories function. I'll put it again. So, you know, consider taking this as a gift from me and work out sexually. That being said, let me recap what we just said. First of all, mental health. We gotta stay mentally healthy in order to be good partners. Physical workout, because your body needs to be worked out overall. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to play much in bed. And third, sexual practice. It is possible also for guys. I just, not having lived in a man's body, I don't know what 100% what that is. But for women, I do have it. And I do encourage you to use it. So yeah, that's it. Enjoy. And let me know how your times of being single go. And if you find any resources in all of those things that will make you even much I don't know, even better, more juicier in bed when you do find your partner. Ciao. Enjoy your weekend.